everybody, and welcome to the stream of Card Consciousness. I believe this is episode 8. I'm joined by my partner, Greg Smith. How you doing today, Greg?
Oh, I'm doing great, Mark. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, doing real well. We got some really fun stuff to talk about today. We're going to get started this week with a few of our favorite cards that came in this week, because not only do we buy sells, we also give most of that money back to other people in their sales. So I'm gonna list a few of my favorite cards, show them to you that I got this week, and give a shout out. First, hey, the guy right across the camera from me, Greg Smith, sent me this 1952 Luke Easter. As y'all know, that's my guy, and
Yeah.
a little grungy, but it doesn't matter because I was able to sell the 1952 Topps Luke Easter that I did have extra on a sale yesterday, and allow some other people to enjoy Luke Easter. So I'm able to keep. I have a graded one, but I like to always have like a raw card that I can do my thing with. And so I was really happy that Greg got this for me. He sent that to me, and I really love it. And again, it allowed me to pass on another Luke Easter to somebody else. This is from Wayne Chan, new seller, first sale out of the box. Everybody, Wayne Chan is the real deal. It's 56 Frank Thomas, my friend Frank, who recently passed away. I'm not going to rehash our relationship.
The original Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas, the
was.
original, who I became quite friendly with over the last few years, and I miss him. He's a good dude. And then this one here, this is going to stoke Greg. The Robin Yount rookie card that I got from Richard Kavorka. This was
never even knew it was for sale, Richard.
Yeah, this it's got a slight crease, corners, but this thing is really nice, and I'm happy to have it. So Richard Kavorka, he sent that and bought that in one of his sales. And then my final, another one of my friends that I've met over the last few years, and COVID hurt me in a lot of ways, basically ruined my business, created a great sense of isolation with me, but it also helped because I was able to become friends with people like Frank Thomas and Eddie Robinson. Just a remarkable card. I got this from Wayne Chan, and this is just amazing, amazing, amazing. 1954 Topps. It's a PSA 4. I'm not going to be the flex guy and say, oh my God, it looks like an 8. I don't know what a higher graded 1954 should look like, but that thing is just beautiful. So shout out to Wayne Chan. He's doing it right. New seller, his very first sale out of the box. The shipping was great. Took a few extra days to ship than normally I'd like, but so what? It came, it got there safe, and really good guy, and I got high hopes for him. So that's my favorite cards of the week that came in. How about you, Greg?
Well, I'm going to start in a couple remarks on yours. With the shipping, I mean, as long as I've got some communication, I'm cool waiting a little bit. It's when they go dark on you and you're just like, okay, what are you doing? But that I looked at that sale and most of the good stuff was gone. So that tells you he's doing something right. If all his stuff is gone. Seen a lot of good new sellers lately. Wayne's was good. There's a guy in a different group that I go in sometimes. Had a really good sale. There's just been some good sales, and we're going to touch on some things later that we've noticed as well. But that Wayne Chan sale was a good sale, so good for him.
Yeah, he's got a couple more coming up. So
does he?
Sure,
cool.
We'll get something out of it.
Well, I've been spending some time the last 3 or 4 days at the card shop here locally in Gulf Breeze, Florida. I want to give them a shout out. I had a really good time with them, and it's Coins, Sports Cards, and Racing Collectibles in Gulf Breeze, Florida. Mike Simpson's the owner. He's a good guy. I didn't have the best experience, honestly, when I first went in there the first time, and it's like 3 years ago. And it just, I think there was only like 2 people there, and they were busy, and it just seemed kind of frazzled. But I've been 30 times since then, and every 30 out of 30 has been perfect. So, I picked up some stuff. I got this 1976. I love these SSPC cards.
Yeah, that's nice.
Rod Carew.
Holy cow! Look at that wad. He's got a ballot. That's the Nellie Fox model right there. A ballot.
Yeah, he
Nellie
does.
Fox
And
Red Man in there.
He's got some kind of odd look on his face too, like maybe the tobacco's not.
Yeah, I got a whole package of Red Man shoved in my cheek. What do I do now? So that's a
Right,
cool
right.
card. I love it.
That is Nelly Fox-esque. Yeah,
Oh,
no doubt.
definitely.
This one here also got yesterday. This is a
Oh, Red
1970
Shark.
Gale Sayers. No, really good shape. I think he's, hobby-wise, he's not necessarily underrated, but I think in the Pantheon, if he could have stayed healthy, he probably would have been an all-timer.
Oh,
He already
definitely.
is, but
Yeah.
A couple more that I got at the. This is a 1976 Hostess Jim
Oh, I
Rice.
love the Hostess. Yeah, big
Yeah,
fan. Yeah.
they're cool, and I've got some box panels, and maybe this is a question for the viewers, or I'll put in the group. If you have those, I've got some 1986 Topps box panels that have that red border, and I don't know what to do with them really, because I don't want to keep all of them. I've got some duplicates, but wonder if I should sell them as a panel or cut them, and what's the best way to cut them. So I'll pose that question. And the last pickup I had at the local card shop was at Coin Sports Cards and Racing Collectibles was the 1952 Bowman red Schadendienst, and it's it's got a little crease down the front, but I mean for the price I couldn't really complain. And those old cards
in the background.
Yeah, I mean the old cards were it was like $10. It was great. And then there's been 3. I'm gonna throw some love your way, Mark.
Okay.
Trying to get the glare off there, but a 1990
cool.
Topps. The slabs, the BGS slabs are great. It's real sturdy. 8.5. Shoot, I mean,
use it for a doorstop. You have
to. Well, I mean, it is a second year shilling. In my opinion, he should be in the Hall, no question.
Oh, definitely.
Politics, whatever, but that's a card that I love. He's a Red Sox legend. I love him. And I have a story to tell about Kurt real quick. I used to be on a message board called Sons of Sam Horn, and I don't know if any Red Sox fans, anybody that uses Red Sox.
He's going to be the man. He was pre-Mo Vaughn, or is that after? That was before Mo.
Oh, Sam Horn? Yeah, He was right. He was like 3 years before Mo Vaughn.
He was Mo Vaughn before Mo Vaun, but he wasn't Mo Vaun. So
right.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Sam Horn.
Red Sox. I got you.
Yeah, you do. I love it. I've got my typical Dolphins hat. I think my daughter got my Red Sox hat or something. But the message board, we're all kind of nerding out about the Red Sox after the 2003 season when we lost to the Yankees, and this guy shows up. His username was Garrig38, and he just shows up. He gets approval to be a member. It was kind of an exclusive thing for some reason. And he starts spouting off that he's actually Curt Schilling. So we're like, come on, we start quizzing him, and through several days of sleuthing, and it actually was Curt Schilling, Garrig38. And we were begging him to come to Boston because at the time he was still with Arizona. And, he was like, we need you, Curt. We were so close. And then Aaron Boone got us. And, if you come here, we're going to win. And, we like to think, looking back, and I don't really frequent that message board. I haven't been on that message board in 20 years now, or 15 years. We like to think that we were instrumental in getting Curt to come to Boston. Yeah, so he'd stay 3 in the morning, man. He'd be up there talking with us. It was kind of surreal, but that card speaks to me, and I appreciate you sending that to me. So sorry,
you had to have it. I saw it, and it was 90 Topps, and that's the United colors of 1990 Topps, and
it's beautiful, man.
And it was in the Beckett. I love the Beckett slabs because, like I said, you can pound an Allen with that thing. So
right.
Awesome.
Well, these are the last 3 that I've got, and they're kind of just random cards. I got one from a seller that you and I have been frequenting that shall remain nameless. It's one of our little hidey holes, but got these 2. They're 2001 and 2002 Upper Deck or Topps American Pie is what they're called. They're Yastrzemskis. They're just cool. I mean, it's just a little bit off the wall. And then a little mini 2012 Carl Yastrzemski.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it's just for the PC. It's pretty cool. There's been some great sales, and there's always good people, and part of the allure for me of this whole experience has really been, there's not a lot of structure to this show today, guys. I think, but but it's, we're not going to do a list. We're not going to do anything like that. But it's just been the camaraderie and the things that the conversations and so many different people and meeting new people and, talking with somebody at 11:30 at night about 1973 tops, things like that. It's just kind of really cool. And me not working full time right now, at a normal job has given me some free time to be able to go ahead and devote a little bit more time to this. So I've been thankful for that. And,
Right on.
yeah. So those are my pickups.
Yeah, those are great.
Those are mine. Yeah. So
the American pies those are worth a couple bucks. Those are
they
kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I had no idea.
Yeah, they're kind of neat. There's a
yeah,
cultural. Yeah, they're not all
Absolutely.
about not all sports cars. You'll have entertainers and politicians and
Oh, do they?
like that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's not just sports. It's
Well, I had no idea.
I think 2000, 2002, sometime around there. I think they came out.
Yeah, 01 and 02, and I just picked them up.
Go.
They were 50 cents, and I'm like, well,
yeah,
those look cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not get rich, it's a couple bucks, but they're neat because they're kind of obscure. So yeah, your points there that you just said. Yeah, I mean, that kind of leads me down a path of this weekend. We had quite a few interesting experiences, Greg and myself, over the weekend dealing with people. And it's not to say like the dark side of the hobby or anything like that, but we call people that kind of like jump in and hijack your posts and got to be like, look at me. They're the alta flexers. We talked about that a little bit last week. So we had a few flexers, and then the thing that really stuck out with me is something that bothers me. I was all ready to just come in guns a-blazing, forge to get on his horse and fight the holy war and torch and burn a couple people, but that's not what we do. And I'm not going to name names, but there's a sale right out of the gate. The seller, in his initial description of terms, in my view, is picking on people that have limited means. If you have to transfer funds to pay for $2 or $3 worth of cards, or you tell me you can't pay for $2 or $3 worth of cards, and basically the vibe of the thing was, you're just a joke, and you put LOL, and to me that wasn't funny. And
yeah, maybe you need to reassess your priorities. Were I think his words.
And I sent him a message that don't tag me in your sales in the future. I don't like that mindset. It's just cardboard. And we never know what people are going through and what we experience. And that sometimes, that cardboard can lead to greater and bigger and better things in relationships. And it's not all about the money. And his response was, well, I don't tag people on my sales. So basically, piss off and, I'm going to go make my money and I don't care. And that's fine. That's the way to do business. But I can just say from personal experience that I've had, people that, hey, this happened, that happened. Can we wait a couple weeks? Sure, absolutely. I've had people tell me, hey, this happened, that happened. Can we wait? Yeah, no problem. You know what I do? I send them the cards anyways. And then, because look, I have a mountain of quarter cards, 50-cent cards. That's what I do. That's my jam. I'm the 50-cent king. And this isn't, hey, look at me, but everybody, if you get the, the bubble mailer with tracking, you're going to get a pile of cards. That's just what I do. So I just really bother me that mindset of that seller. And then there's a couple other snarky comments. And look, people, it's just cardboard. And there's people that are just out to make money, watch every penny. I get it. But you don't need to have that attitude on top of it because, times are tough. And in the world we live in today, and that piece of cardboard, and I get messages every day, hey, you took me down memory road and thanks for sticking this in or that in. And I hear their story. I hear this person's story and that person's story about, and all of our stories are pretty similar about how we got started. But you're taking yourself out of that element, that ability to interact, that the culture, but that kinship, the bond, the brotherhood when you are that way. Look, if somebody gets something for me and they can't pay, as long I'm not going to pick on them. It really bothered me. You see, I'm being, you sound a great, straightforward, honest person. You tell it right now. I'm like, kind of like, it just really bothered me because I know for me, it's just cardboard. This is just cardboard, right? 52, whatever. There it goes. It's just
Hey, don't
right?
throw my
It's
Luke
just
Easter around now.
it's got enough bends in it, doesn't matter. But anyways, brother, and you know what I'm saying? It's a 50. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. It's cardboard. It's what's behind the cardboard. It's the connection. In this case, me and Greg. Me and Wayne Chan, and then it grows from that, and then it goes into other things. And then the other thing too, just real quick, is the smartest guy in the room, and I'm funny, and I'm gonna flex up, and I'm gonna hulk out on you if you make a misstep or a wrong statement on something. I might mislist something, get the year wrong, no big deal. You don't got to come in and pound on me how smart you are. We like to have a good time. There's a group, Greg, James, Richard. We're kind of a group, a little posse. And I'll tell you right now, you come in on one of us, you're going to deal with, we're going to unleash hell. You're going to deal with all of us. But, one of our friends is getting they were asking who the greatest baseball player of all time was. He said Willie Mays. And then he come back a little later and say, hey, how about Chuck Connors? Now, that's straight up my alley, right? Because now I'm like, that's funny. Well, they didn't think it was so funny. Like, how dare you, be so silly? And this is a sanctimonious, hallowed. This is like scriptural. You cannot, you basically just, spit on Jesus, it's as far as these people are concerned. Come on, lighten up, have some fun, right? It's supposed to be fun. So needless to say, we ended that conversation right quick because it was like Tyson in his prime. Boom, boom, boom. Good night. So
Yeah, he disappeared, didn't he?
That guy headed out like that seller that one time. Yeah, never to be heard from again. So it's supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have a good time.
Yeah.
So,
well, and I agree with you, and I think I was at the card shop yesterday, and you can tell a distinct difference between a vintage collector and a modern collector.
Yeah.
And the mindset, I think, for a vintage collector, in my opinion, should probably be a little bit different than the mindset for a modern collector. And you saying what you said really makes me think about what people's motivations are. And I get, this is, the group we hang out in is a sales group. I mean, it's ultimately at the end of the day, do you want to make every dime you can? No, but do you want to make enough to keep it going and maybe further your PC a little bit? Sure. Absolutely. But it doesn't have to be all about dollars and cents. I run a sale, man. I offer discounts. I do, and you do too. I mean, it's the freebies, and for people to just treat it as a business, there's been a rash, and I don't want to get up on a soapbox, man. I'm not a soapbox guy, but there's been a rash also of people who you read in their post, well, we have a sale going, or our, and you're dealing with one person and they're talking about we, and I'm like, who are all these people? Who's we? Do you work for IBM, or I mean, who Tops? Who's selling all these cards? So not to make this too long-winded, but it made me really think about people's motivations when it comes to vintage cards. I know my motivation, first and foremost, is getting stuff that I couldn't afford when I was a kid. And getting things that like those American Pie Yaz cards. I mean, Yaz is my guy. He's my all-time guy. And I'd never seen those before, and I picked them up, and I love them. They're going to go in a sleeve and go in a loader. And I think sometimes people get caught up in it's such a business, and I don't like to use the word inventory in my sales. It's, I'll do like card reduction or mountain reduction, or, and I think people do kind of get into that mindset a little bit and don't realize that, hey, everybody's different reasons for collecting. And it kind of rubs me the wrong way too. I wish that it was a little bit different. But unfortunately there's going to be in a group of 49 and 29, and there's 100,000 people in these groups, and there's going to be some people who don't really get it. And I do think it's funny that we ride out. We call it riding out. We'll go exploring and see what we can
mount up.
Yeah, let's go. So I just wish people would think, it should be more fun. And I think a lot of times it gets caught up in the business part. So,
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I get caught up in the business of it too. I sell a lot. I buy a lot too. My PayPal's always riding that line.
Yeah.
Um,
Same here.
yeah. So, let's just all be a little bit maybe nicer to each other and, not have to jump. I had a guy yesterday, immediately try to correct something that I didn't even mess up. And I'm just like, come on, man.
I got the card.
Right. Yeah.
We
But
bought it up,
it's,
but I said, I gotta have that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you did. And it was funny. I mean, it's a guy that's bought for me before, so I don't really have an issue with it, but I was just like, I mean, come on, guys, this is fun. So, that brings me to the point too of just, you know, I've been fortunate through the last 3 years to be able to get some really nice stuff that I never thought I would have. And, I just really more than anything want to thank everybody in this community that has, sold to me and given me deals on things. And, I try to reciprocate if they buy something from me. So, it's been a really good experience for me to be in these groups and meet people like you, Mark, and people like Richard, and new sellers. Like I bought some OPG cards from a guy named Dan Hunter, and I've had some conversations with him, and he's now on the lookout for OPG cards for me, if he sees a good bulk deal. So, those are the kind of relationships that are really valued. And after a while in the group, you can really kind of tell who gets it and who doesn't. So
was that big OPT sale, Dan Hunter, that we rode in on that
yeah,
one day?
yeah, that's his name.
You got your cards?
I did get my cards. They're across the street at my house.
Never mind.
No.
I just got the Gwyn rookie in it. I did just get the Gwyn the other day. So
yeah.
Dan's good. Yeah, that was a great sale. I look forward to more from him.
It was, and I
good pricing too.
Yeah, exactly. And I try to forge those relationships, so maybe he'll remember to tag me when he has another sale.
Yeah.
That's part of it too, man. I like to buy just as much as I like to sell, and I just treat people how you'd like to be treated, man. If you've got something going on in your life, everybody does, and you don't have to make people feel small. So there's my 2 cents.
I mean, we're not pretentious. Like an example, like look at, I'm in my daughter's room with Lord knows what. I think you're probably sitting in the dinette or at the counter, and we don't have our strategically placed boxes upon boxes of baseball cards and all that stuff. And it says, "Oh, look at us," and our banner. And another example too is honestly, we're in the vintage fire sales. That's kind of our jam, where we like to be and sell. And, we've taken the show out of that. And honestly, our viewership and interaction is lessened, but, we made the decision and, it's not really the place for what we're doing, because I don't want people to say, because it was said, "Oh, look at you guys with your big show and all that stuff and your sales." That's not why we were doing this, not to drive sales or anything like that. So we made our own group, our own page, and we decide who's in. It's not open to everybody, and there's no sales in there, and we just talk about whatever, just like the show. So again, we're not trying to leverage everything we have to make every penny.
Well, and I agree, and that's the group's been fun. I mean, we got close to 100 members now finally.
I love it.
And yeah, it's a good group, and it's got its wide variety of characters already. And it's just a place where you can go, because we all collect. I mean, I don't care what you say. If you sell, if you buy, if you exclusively sell, if you exclusively buy, we all collect. And one thing I've noticed is, and I haven't really found a good one, is a place to just go and talk about the cards and things that you can't talk about in the groups. Like, well, what's the best? I'm going to ask later on, what's the best way to cut up box bottoms? Things like that. So you can't really do that, and you don't really want to do that in the sales group because it clogs everything up. So it's
then somebody's gonna get on you and be like, you're an idiot, or why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Look at me, or I'm gonna flex out. Here's my, hey Smith, look at this. I got a whole warehouse full of box bottoms. Look at me.
Right.
While you're at it, I got 87,000 Yastrzemskis. So regard me. All right?
Exactly.
You want to flex out? Come on, let's go.
So,
Trust
you
me,
know,
people, me and
it's
Greg can pull some stuff out that would just blow your minds. But again, that's not what we're doing. We want to, we
right,
don't care about that. We care about this. Me and you, us, people.
right.
So yeah,
And it's been
that's a good
great, man.
point. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
our
And
group would be best. Nobody's gonna flex out on you about the box bottoms. So
right, right. So,
yeah,
but other than that, I mean, I don't have a whole lot else for today. You know, it's just
yeah.
been
No, we
it's been
keep
a
it
good week.
short. I got a couple
Yeah.
shout outs I have to do.
Go ahead.
Again, somehow my kids in my room found my show. Oh, so after I shouted out Alex Guzman last week, Mr. Ford, what about me? What about me? So just real quick, I know this has nothing to do with sports, but again, hey, this isn't all about sports and about cards. It's the stream of card consciousness. So Alexa Mojica, you got the voice of an angel, cross between Fergie and Jesus, right? We know where that came from. Nick Green, Sir Green, you're my knight of the room. Love you. Noah Rodriguez, you're going to get back to playing football at Winter Park. Dimitri Call, you're going to get back to playing football at Edgewater. Mr. Ford's got you. Don't worry. All right. So, kids, there you go. I shouted you out. Don't feel bad. I know you. We're there. And then Billy Stillwell, you got that 52 Luke Easter. I hope you enjoy it. I'm glad you got it. Me and Billy he's more in the modern side of things, so I've been feeding my little itch for modern autographs with Billy, and Billy stepped up and bought that 52 Easter and myself, so I'm really grateful for that.
Nice.
And those are my shout outs. And if I missed anybody in my room, I'll get you next week. So how about you, Greg? Got anything, anybody?
I've got a couple just real quick. I've got a guy that I've been talking with a little bit, Leon Wilcox, and he's a buyer and a seller. I mean, he doesn't sell a whole lot, but he's trying to get every Dodgers card, and right now he's missing like 4 or 5, including the Ken McMullen 1963 rookie card.
That's
which
a tough one, yeah.
Yeah, it also has Pete Rose on it. So
it's a tough one.
So he's been cool. I've been talking with him a little bit. Chris Akers, great guy. Again, I mean, just after the show last week, I gave him a shout last week. He's just so, you can tell he's just so appreciative of the cards, and more, I think almost more than any buyer I've ever dealt with. He really gets it. So I've enjoyed talking with him. I don't, the usual suspects. So I mean,
Richard, James.
I don't want to shout out the same people every week.
Yeah, right.
I'm looking through my, and I probably should have written.
I got Breck Allman. Me and Breck have been. Breck's pretty amazing dude. I know you probably talked to Breck quite a bit too.
Yeah, he's real solid. He's out.
Yeah,
Breck is a good dude.
Yeah, Breck's amazing. I really like talking to him.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at his message right now. That's funny.
He's a good dude. But again, he's on the personal level versus the, it's not, every little penny and that. So
yeah,
it's great. He's telling me about 87 tops and this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, I really appreciate him too. So that's about all I got. Yeah.
Me too, man. Other than that, just
a good show.
I'm putting some more cards up out there today. I've got part 2 of the sale, so I'm gonna go.
I don't know what to do about mine. I don't know if I want to put a little more on the. I don't know, because I got some W's post sale. So
yeah,
I don't know if I should put another run of cards on the sale I had yesterday. And it was a good sale. I don't know. I think I might. We'll see where the afternoon takes me. I just might throw up a few more for those late W's and
have at it, man.
The overtime.
Strike while the iron's hot, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, you have a great rest of the day. I'm sure we'll be talking, and I'll see you in your cell. And thank you, everybody, for supporting us. Thank you, Greg. Love you. And,
absolutely. And we'll be back next week, guys, with a little bit more structure. Maybe do some more lists or just some topics, we talked about during the week. So this was just kind of some things that needed to be said, I think, get off our chest. And this is
out there. I feel better. It's like going to confessional. So we can move forward.
Have a good rest of your Sunday, Mark.